All right, welcome back. We've got a severe storm that's moving just east of Pueblo right now that does look to contain some stronger winds in excess of about 40 to 50 miles per hour in the region. So that has not contained incredibly large hail. We have had some hail reported around Pueblo West, but on the south side of this cell, excuse me, it does look like we have a larger hail core showing up here, just kind of out over some desolate areas. Let's zoom in and get you a little bit of a street view here. Hard to get that. That looks like that is just to the west here of Broadacre Road and Red Top Road. So that's likely got some quarter-size hail in it right now. That's an active severe thunderstorm warning there south of Pueblo. So the worst of it is bypassing Pueblo, but that is in effect for the next 7 minutes. This storm's going to be shifting east around Avondale and Boone, so we'll likely see an extension of this severe thunderstorm warning, primarily concerning the the wind threat. So let's kind of show you that really quickly here, and you'll notice where that bright green is showing up is likely showing about a 50-60 mile per hour wind, and so that's probably why we have the warning on this storm is not necessarily for the hail, but rather for the strong winds that are moving through the Vineland area and just north of Dot Test Road and north of Blend. It looks like your strongest winds are on the northeast side of Pueblo, kind of out over a little bit towards the airport, it seems, just east of Troy Avenue and on the northeast side of town. So that is an active severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the next 6 minutes. So that is likely going to be extended there from the National Weather Service out of Pueblo, Colorado. So strong winds with this thunderstorm moving through Pueblo. That is why we have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect. 60 mile per hour winds radar indicated. It does show radar indicated 1-inch hail, although I'm not seeing widespread 1-inch hail in the storm. Seeing more so a little bit on the smaller side, but it could be that hail core collapsed right over eastern Pueblo. And so now we're just getting really heavy raindrops, it looks like. And the most notable hail core is to the south. They're just around areas closer to Broadacre Road, out over a desolate area. That's going to be pushing east. So it doesn't, we'll have to kind of keep an eye on Fowler here, because this hail core could regenerate and push towards Boone, Fowler, Rocky Ford, Ordway, here over the next 30 to 45 minutes. So we'll keep you posted on that. That's kind of our only storm in the region at the moment. Let's see. Whoops. 1 second. We've got a few storms that are kind of still pushing just east of Colorado Springs. So we're starting to see a little bit of clearing. I've got a little sunshine at my house. So that's going to help these storms back across parts of the Central Mountains have a little bit more fuel to ride on as they enter the I-25 corridor this afternoon. Oftentimes when you get these storms moving through, and they can kind of stabilize the atmosphere just a bit and cap off the atmosphere. And if you don't get enough sunshine kind of helping to regenerate the atmosphere and that instability, then the storms that are kind of pushing into the region will kind of not have enough punch to thrive on, if that makes sense. Before we take you off to break here, just want to show you that we still have a category 2. Let's see. Well, we're wrong here. messed up there. All right, bear with me. Let me see here what we got going on. This is just part of what we do here. I apologize. Okay, there we go. Back in business. All right, Category 1 zone is really where you're looking at a hail and wind threat for us today. That Category 2 zone, that extends right around, I would say Rocky Ford, but it might be just to the east of there for this afternoon and this evening. So you can kind of see where that Category 2 red zone is. So that's where you could experience the potential for large hail and damaging winds. And it looks like that's going to be primarily between about 4:30 and 7 o'clock this evening. So storms are going to be pushing along the Arkansas River Valley and then continuing to really regenerate as they push across parts of Prowers County up into Eads, Colorado. Several little blips here that show a larger hail core just south of Eads, kind of almost splitting around Lamar. Now, I'm not sold that this is going to play out this way. I think the most notable key message here is that you've got some larger hail cores kind of along the eastern plains in western Kansas between about 6 and 8 p.m. this evening. And then you'll notice a few residual showers and thunderstorms still lingering across the Raton Pass and parts of Los Animas County through about 9 to 10 o'clock this evening. So that's also a possibility. And then we've got to get ready for a few isolated storms in the region tomorrow. But it is looking like another hot day with temperatures in the mid 80s for tomorrow, and still a Category 1 threat for severe weather on Friday, and only looking at a small slice of the southeastern corner of the state that could have the potential for an isolated tornado around Springfield, Lamar. But it's very, very isolated, and it's a very low threat, but it is not zero. So before we pop off here, just tracking a severe thunderstorm warning. It's in effect here east of Pueblo. 60 mile per hour winds are moving through the Vineland area, and then a larger hail core around Broadacre Road. It's headed towards Broadacre Road with the potential for 1-inch hail inside this severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 4 o'clock. So for the next minute or so. All that to say, going to check out a couple little reports here and see if anybody's got any comments. And, you know, especially in the Pueblo area, if you were kind of in the Pueblo area as the storm was moving through, tell me, was it more so about the wind? Probably so. Sean wants to know, is that storm coming to La Junta soon? These storms will be tracking towards La Junta, yes. Let's see how long you got. Okay, so the severe thunderstorm warning has been extended now into Boone. And it looks like you're going to get some 60 mile per hour winds. So batten down the hatches just a bit. 58, 60 mile per hour winds can do a little bit of damage. And it looks like the worst of that wind is on the northern side there. You can see that bright green. It's starting to weaken just a little bit. But the hail core is more concerning south of Boone. But now you're already starting to see that hail core regenerate. So this happens as it cycles through, and it can start to form a hail core again, especially as it's pushing into an environment more favorable for faster updraft speeds. And you'll notice that we're actually seeing a little outflow boundary right here through Boone. So the wind's probably picked up in Boone. Again, this is going to be tracking mainly towards the east to southeast. So if this can hold together, which I suspect it probably will, La Junta, that would be probably in the next 45 minutes. Marnie said, great, I'm headed to Pueblo from La Junta. Hope it's gone. I just washed my van. But you know, if you hadn't washed the van, Marnie, you know, we probably wouldn't get any rain. Isn't it Murphy's Law? So I'm sorry about that. But yes, Sean, to answer your question, it is headed to La Junta. If this storm can hold together, I imagine thunderstorms have cycles, right? They have updrafts, downdrafts. They have a delicate balance to kind of keep the storm thriving and producing, strong winds and hail. And sometimes you can get these downdrafts, right? Which usually kind of tells us maybe the storm is weakening just a bit, and so you'll get an outflow boundary, which is that downdraft wind hitting the surface, fanning out in all directions, that kicks up dust, that reflects back to the radar. And that's what you're looking at right here with this thin line, is a little bit of dust that's getting kicked up from that outflow wind from that thunderstorm. So that can show us there's a little bit of a cycle going on right now. And so we'll see if this storm can regenerate. It looks like the hail core now has weakened on the south side from what it looked like. You can see, yeah, so you can see how much that's weakened. But that doesn't mean you're out of the woods. It just means that it could be going through a bit of a cycle, and then it starts to regenerate once again, because we have instability and we have wind shear. We have all the parameters that are just east of Boone that are just sitting and waiting for this storm to thrive on, to get another punch going, right? So large hail, damaging winds, it's possible around Fowler, Rocky Ford, La Junta, Cheraw, Ordway, Olney Springs, Los Animas, here over the next 2 hours from now until 7 to 8 o'clock tonight. Right now, I would tell you the primary concern with this storm is the wind. That's looking like the most concern there, some 50 to 60 mile per hour wind. And we're very close to the radar site. The radar site's in northeastern Pueblo County, so it's actually giving us some decent feedback here. You can see areas where you've got like possibility of some 60 plus mile an hour wind, mainly on the north side of Pueblo. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see. We've got a few people watching here, but I don't see any questions. How y'all doing out there today? Y'all loving these big boomers? These are fun. As long as they don't cause too much damage, right? That's always a great thing. And just to make you aware, if you weren't joining us a little earlier today, we have also been looking at the flash flood warning. Still in effect here in the just north of Beulah Valley. So that goes for the north side of that burn scar, right around North Creek Road. I can't remember the name of that road. So it's right in the heart of that burn scar. The potential for considerable damage there around the North Creek Road area, and that stretches back into eastern Custer County. So we'll check some reports for that before we end things here. Just 1 second. One second. Okay. Flash flood warning for the Aspen Acres burn scar is canceled for east central Custer and west central Pueblo counties. Looks like that just came through about 4 minutes ago. So that is still showing up on my radar, but that's some good news, right? That appears to be that we do not have any imminent threat happening on the northern flank of that burn scar. So that should be allowed to expire. All right, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect east of Pueblo right now. Nice little outflow boundary just moved east of Boone. Who else is in the line with his outflow boundary? I love some outflow boundaries. Give me all the outflow boundaries. Just like Mother Nature's air conditioning. That cool downdraft wind that gets released from these thunderstorms, you stand out in it, you just feel your soul just feels alive. But then you want to come back inside because you don't want to get the wrath of the storm, right? Because that's ahead of it or just behind it. So that is an active severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the next 25 minutes through 4:30. Right now, wind is the primary concern. They're showing a possibility of 3/4 inch hail. That's not damaging hail. Damaging hail is usually about 1 inch or greater. But there's a good possibility that as the storm scoots towards Fowler, that it starts to regenerate. And we see that stronger hail core starting to show up in the region. You can see it's kind of, these storms are kind of gelling together here just across eastern El Paso County and up into parts of the I-70 corridor where we're still looking at some nice heavy downpours. Those storms sub-severe. We have one rogue severe thunderstorm warning just to the northeast of the Denver metro area for the next 24 minutes. That is not producing hail. That is producing strong wind. in excess of about 58 to 60 miles per hour. So I think wind is our big concern this afternoon. So if you are around La Junta, Fowler, Rocky Ford, you're not under the severe thunderstorm warning just yet, but you gotta keep an eye on these storms. Make sure that you don't have any loose outdoor items, that can fly off the porch very easily. I know many of you out here are well accustomed to these types of storms, but it never hurts to remind folks of that. So that severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for the next 23 minutes. We'll pop back on if we need to, but stay weather aware, especially here across the Eastern Plains, as we continue to look for strong winds and large hail. You can see that Category 2 zone, which really puts you into the threat for even an isolated tornado or two. You got a severe thunderstorm watch that is in place there around portions of Eads, Colorado.